This week on the Feel Good Flyover, a Marine vet stops a stabbing spree, and a Guinness World Record baby born at just 21 weeks is now thriving. We've got a taco stand serving up Michelin-starred street food, a blind moose calf finding a forever home, and a tiny dog who saves his owner's life. Plus, laughter and healing at a memory cafe, a road trip dog rescue, and a surprise in the skies when a pilot gives his grandmother the flight of a lifetime. It's Friday, August 1st, and this is the Feel Good Flyover. Hi, I'm Amy Hess, and welcome to the Feel Good Flyover, where we trade headlines that weigh you down for stories that lift you up. Today's episode unpacks the Feel Good Flyover email edition with all the best feel-good news. From courage in the middle of chaos to tacos and tiny miracles, these stories are powerful reminders that there's still so much good out there. I'm glad you're here. Let's get right to it and get ready for takeoff. Our first story today is one of extraordinary courage in the face of chaos. Over the weekend, a terrifying stabbing spree broke out at a Walmart in Traverse City, Michigan, leaving 11 people injured, with victims ranging in age from 29 to 84. But thanks to the brave actions of one man, things didn't get worse. Derek Perry, a 41-year-old Marine Corps veteran and father of three, was shopping when the attack unfolded. Armed with a legal firearm, he stepped into action, confronting the suspect in the parking lot and helping other bystanders pin him down until law enforcement arrived. Perry later told Good Morning America, "I didn't think of anything other than trying to get him away from people, to get him isolated and focused on me instead of everyone else who was screaming and yelling in the background." Cell phone video captured the moment he held his ground and issued commands to the suspect, 42-year-old Bradford Gilley, who was later charged with terrorism and 11 counts of attempted murder. Police are calling the attack random and violent, but they're calling Derek Perry and those who helped stop it something else: heroes. The local sheriff praised the group for stepping up when it mattered most, saying it's not very often that we have citizens that are willing to take action. As for Perry's family, they say it was instinct. His daughters called it a proud moment, and watching him in that footage, calm and commanding, it's hard not to agree. His Marine training, his courage, and his heart for others likely saved lives that day. Now take a listen to the moment Derek Perry helped bring the chaos to a stop. This is the video from outside the Walmart recorded by a bystander during the attack.
Drop it! Throw the knife that way! Throw it away! Throw it away! Hey, he hasn't dropped it!
Now to a story that shows just how strong the human spirit can be, even when a life begins with nearly impossible odds. Born in Iowa City at just 21 weeks gestation, which is a full 133 days early, Nash Keene is now officially recognized by Guinness World Records as the most premature baby ever to survive. He weighed only about 10 ounces, roughly the size of a bar of soap, and was whisked immediately into the NICU at University of Iowa Healthcare's Steed Family Children's Hospital. Nash spent 6 months in that NICU overcoming complications, including surgery and extended ventilator care. But by early 2025, he was finally allowed to go home just in time to greet his first birthday, surrounded by loved ones and a one-of-a-kind title. His parents, Molly and Randall, say Nash is curious, determined, full of personality, and, ironically, less fragile than most babies his age. "I want him to see his story as a source of strength," Molly has shared. Nash's remarkable survival wasn't just luck. It was the result of life-saving care from a medical team that regularly treats infants born at 21 weeks, combined with advanced techniques like neonatal hemodynamics, tools that doctors say helped tilt the odds in his favor. To the Keene family and everyone cheering Nash on, this isn't just a medical milestone. It's a shining reminder that hope, perseverance, and compassion can reshape the impossible and to never give up on a life. Here are a couple clips from Nash's parents and Dr. Amy Stanford, who cared for him at the University of Iowa Healthcare. If you want to see the full video, we've got it linked in today's show notes.
Good job. Yeah.
Hospitals in Des Moines take 22-week-old babies, and so we pretty much were just told to go home and hope to keep Nash in as long as possible. And I just remember waking up at 1 a.m. with what I felt like were stronger contractions. I called my best friend immediately, and she had offered to take me up to the University of Iowa if we got close to the 21 weeks. So she was at my house in an instant. We drove up to Iowa City, we got checked in.
It is a miracle to see how well he's done, and that is a large testament to his family as well, because they've advocated for him from the very beginning.
I hope that this journey teaches him that there's nothing he can't do, and that he goes for his dreams. And
that would be the best gift of all, as long as he's happy.
From a humble taco griddle to the height of culinary stardom, this next story is a delicious reminder that excellence doesn't always come with white tablecloths. Taqueria El Khalifa de Leon, a tiny taco stand in Mexico City, has made history as the first of its kind to earn a Michelin-Star. The space is just about 100 square feet, no chairs, no frills, just 4 tacos on the menu and 1 well-seasoned griddle. But what comes off that griddle? Pure flavor. Chef Arturo Rivera Martinez has been manning that station for over 20 years, cooking up the same simple combination: beef, salt, lime, and a fresh tortilla. Sauce is optional, but as one reviewer said, the taco really doesn't need it. The tacos go for about $5 a piece, which is pricey by local standards, but loyal fans say they're worth every peso. And if you're wondering whether you'll ever get to try them out without booking a flight, good news. El Khalifa has brought those Michelin-starred tacos stateside through a handful of pop-up events, including recent stops in Tempe and Glendale, Arizona, as well as earlier appearances in Chicago, Bethesda, and Arlington. Now, if you're wondering what all the buzz is about, here's a look at the pop-up event in Tempe, just one of the stops, where folks got to experience these award-winning tacos for themselves. This video comes from EatDrinkAZ on Instagram, and we've got it linked in today's show notes.
Arizona just got the only Michelin taco stand in the world. It's a pop-up and it's only here for a couple more days. This is Taqueria El Khalifa de Leon. Chef Arturo Martinez has been serving up simple yet delicious tacos since 1960.
All right, if you need a little boost to carry you into the weekend, we've got you covered. Here are a few more quick stories that are sure to lift your spirits. First up in Canada, a blind moose calf named Cedar has found a new lease on life thanks to a kind-hearted volunteer and a rescue called Holly's Haven Wildlife Rescue. She was discovered alone and struggling in British Columbia, likely born blind and unable to survive on her own. After being stabilized at Holly's Haven, Cedar was transferred to the Toronto Zoo, where she's now thriving and learning to recognize her zookeeper's voices. The photos from her early days in care are just heart-melting, and we've got them linked in today's show notes. Meanwhile, in New York, the National Comedy Center is helping dementia patients reconnect through laughter. Their new Memory Cafe events invite people with Alzheimer's and their caregivers to walk through exhibits inspired by everyone from Lucille Ball to George Carlin. For one couple, Gail and Mario, the clips from Family Ties and Johnny Carson triggered old memories and shared laughter. Even if the memories fade minutes later, Gail said, when you're there talking about it, you're remembering. Those moments of connection with a loved one who is experiencing memory loss are priceless. Experts say laughter stimulates the whole brain, and these events are proving that even a pie-in-the-face gag or an old sitcom can be a bridge back to joy. And if you're interested in bringing a loved one to a future session, you can learn more at comedycenter.org/memory cafe or just click the link in the show notes. Down in Atlanta, Andrew Kuzik says his rescue dog, Champ, a two-legged Chihuahua, saved his life. Andrew had adopted Champ years ago after the tiny pup was rejected at birth. And a few months ago, Champ suddenly jumped onto Andrew's chest, waking him from a nap. Moments later, Andrew realized he was having a heart attack. The dog ran to alert his wife, and an ambulance rushed Andrew to the hospital, where doctors found a nearly fatal artery blockage. He says he wouldn't be here today without Champ and believes God placed that little dog in his life for a reason. From a story about a dog saving a man to a woman saving a dog. Well, two, actually. Brooke Moroska was headed to an Airbnb when she spotted a yellow lab lying in the road. Then a black lab appeared too. The strays followed her to the rental and stayed for 4 days, sleeping on the porch and never leaving her side. She brought them to a shelter where she learned they were known cases from a neglect situation. Heartbroken, she returned to Florida but called for updates every week. When the black lab became available for adoption, she drove 10 hours back to get him. Months later, she woke up with a gut feeling, checked the shelter site, and saw the yellow lab was available too. With help from strangers on TikTok, she made the trip again, and now both dogs are home with her for good. This story reminded me of one of the best dogs my family ever had. We were vacationing in the mountains of North Carolina when this stray dog at a trash dump started following my dad on his morning runs. She followed us back to our vacation house and slept in the snow on the porch. We thought maybe she was lost, so we drove her back to town and let her out, hoping she'd just find her way back home. But I was so heartbroken. My family ended up driving back later to check on her, and there she was, still waiting in the exact same spot, snow stacked on her nose like she hadn't moved. We asked around town and left notes, but she didn't belong to anyone. So she became our dog, and she was the best childhood dog I've ever known. Sometimes we think we're saving the dog, but in truth, they're the ones saving us. All right, now it's time for our video of the week, and it is a sweet moment that took months of planning and had people in tears who witnessed it. American Airlines captain Justin Schertz, based in Utah, secretly arranged to fly his grandmother aboard a route she didn't know he was piloting. When the plane took off, he surprised her over the intercom with a heartfelt message, thanking her and his late grandfather for raising him and supporting his journey into aviation. As she realized who was at the helm, she stood up, walked down the aisle, and embraced her grandson amid cheers from passengers. Watch how he made sure she finally got to fly with him.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on board American Airlines Flight 4383, service over to Chicago. My name is Justin, and I will be your captain on today's flight. Going over to Chicago, this is a very special flight for me. Little backstory about me. I was born and raised here in the Memphis area. Grew up here. And it's a special flight for me. So my grandparents raised me. I grew up here in the Memphis area. They supported me. They've done everything they could to help me to get to where I am today. Sorry, Unfortunately, my grandpa passed away earlier this year, so he never got the opportunity to fly with me. But this amazing crew that I'm flying with here today was able to help me pull it off to where my grandmother got the opportunity to fly to Chicago with me today, and I will be the captain. So we do appreciate everybody for helping us out with this. It was a lot of strings to get pulled off, but we did do it.
All right, now it's time for Amy's altitude check. This is the part of the show where we let the good really sink in. This week's stories made me think about the people God has placed in my life right when I needed them most. People who didn't have to step in, but did. Like the Marine vet who ran toward danger to protect strangers, or the doctors and nurses who fought for baby Nash when the odds said he wouldn't make it. or the woman on a trip who didn't turn away from 2 rescue dogs who needed her. They weren't doing it for the spotlight, but their decision to step in, it changed everything. And maybe you've had someone like that too, someone who showed up for you in a season where you needed strength or grace, or just someone to remind you that you weren't alone. If someone's coming to mind right now, maybe this is your nudge to reach out, send the text, make the call, tell them what they meant to you, because while most people don't do it for the thank yous, sometimes we all need to hear that maybe we made a difference, and maybe God's using you this week to remind someone of that. All right, that's a wrap on the Feel Good Flyover for this week. I hope something in these stories encouraged you, reminded you of what really matters, or just gave you a reason to smile, and maybe even inspired you to step in for someone else. If you loved what you heard, feel free to share it with a friend who could use a little more good news. We'd love to hear from you too. Let us know which stories stuck with you, which ones made you laugh or tear up, or what you'd like to hear more of. Thanks so much for being here, and until next time, remember to look for the good.